This is the old Pitman arm, and this is Kryptonite's new Pitman arm. You can tell it's a lot beefier. It's easier to put this on with the steering gear out and then just sort of set it in place. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna get this on, put this on, and then we can finally do the rest of the front end. Supplied directions, you just follow step by step, pretty self-explanatory. Right now I am putting the arms on. This is just hanging right now. I still have to tighten that, as well as tighten the cam bolts, and then I put the grease fittings on, and I just have these sort of mocked up. Now it says in the instructions, if you are level, then if you are stock height, you put these through the top, and if you're a level or higher, up to 4 inches, you want to put these underneath. Now they give you torque specs on these. Like I said, you just pretty much follow the instructions. It's pretty self-explanatory if you do it yourself, and then you always keep the Kryptonite to the front of the vehicle. So quick little thing. I think it's really cool that they made bump stops for that. So like I said, my rough country ones didn't have that, and they actually bent there and got all mangled and everything. So hopefully it doesn't happen like that. All right guys, hub's on. We got the CV axle on. I torqued everything to spec, and she's looking good. Really liking these CV axles. They are very smooth turning. So go on extreme angles, have no problem. And this is all the way down, and then it'll be all the way up, so you can see how less of a slope this really is. My old one, it maxed out pretty far down. All right guys, as you can see, everything is pretty much on. I am waiting for the sway bar end links. I have this just dry fitted until I get the idler arm, support bracket, and the idler in general. Other than that, everything is torqued up, looks good. Didn't realize this lower control arm came with a new bump stop, so that was nice because I needed them anyway. They look a little beefier than the other ones, but they're a lot softer as well, so I don't know how that's going to affect the travel. Worst comes to worst, I'll just replace them with the original style that was on there. But everything looks good. Didn't grease anything yet. I still have to grease the uppers, as well as throw a little bit of grease inside these ball joints, and everything should be good. We're gonna throw the brakes and calipers on after I get the other side done, but right now I'm gonna go underneath and I'll show you the idler kit that I'm putting. All right guys, so here is the Kryptonite idler death grip bracket kit. So it comes with multiple pieces. Obviously you have your idler arm, your idler bracket, as well as a support. Now you can either drill holes or you can weld. I'm going to choose probably the welding route, mainly because to drill holes through tubular frame is sort of a pain, and there's not much room to really drill holes. So we're just going to leave that, plug weld them, maybe throw a few beads on there, and then the bolts go through here, which go through the idler bracket and original bracket. It does give you instructions, so there is some welding or modification required. So I'll go under there, I'll show you what I do or what I've done when I get it done, but I'll be back. All right, as you guys can see, put this on ahead of time, torqued it to 100, that's what the spec says, as well as these two. This is sort of just to stiffen up the steering back and forth and up and down. It's just like a support bracket essentially. And then they have this piece. So this is what I was talking about. These got torqued to 100 foot-pounds. And then there's 4 holes here. Two options. You can either drill out those holes all the way through the tube to the other side. There's nothing there, but that is a pain to try and do and put bolts through. So what I plan to do is just clean this up really quick, and then I'm just going to put a weld right here, and then that will be plenty to support this bracket. There's not really that much tension on here. This is sort of just a support to assist any fluctuation and movements of the original bracket. Obviously this isn't made really thick, so if there's any flex or movement, it would throw off the steering and everything. So this is to stiffen it up essentially. What we're gonna do next is put on the middle center link. And once we got that on, we'll put steering shock absorber, and then we'll do this side, get everything all situated, and get everything done. So we can put the wheels on and put this back on the ground. There's still a little bit to do in the back. That's easy. That's rotors and calipers. Nothing too crazy or hard. And then I have to replace the driver's side brake, emergency brake line that broke. No big deal. All right guys, so the center link is installed, the idler arm's installed, everything's torqued. Besides the stabilizer shock, that's the only thing that's left that needs to be tightened under there. And I just have to do the welding on the bracket over there. So everything else is done. We got the caliper on, the hose is all switched, the ABS sensor is all hooked up, everything's torqued on this side, and pretty much finished. The only thing that we're gonna have to do is when we get the wheels on, we're gonna take the alignment tool and just do a little old school tire width alignment and see if it matches up and get it as close as possible. That way we can drive this to the alignment shop. Everything's all finished up, everything's organized. I put the zip ties on, made sure everything was out of the way, that wasn't gonna get hit with anything. And then essentially we're just gonna have to grease it when this is all done. So we're gonna jump to the other side and finally finish that.